6. Griselda Blanco Restrepo February 15, 1943 to September 3, 2012. She was a Colombian drug lord who was prominent in the cocaine-based drug trade and underworld of Miami during the 1970s through the early 2000s and who has also been claimed by some to have been part of the Medellin cartel. She was shot dead in Medellin on September 3, 2012 at age of 69. Griselda Blanco engaged in criminal activity at an early age in her native Colombia and eventually built a drug trafficking empire in the United States. Blanco's street smarts and ruthless streak, she's connected to as many as hundreds of murders including her husband's, helped her distribute cocaine from Miami to Southern California in the 1970s and 80s. Her criminal enterprise garnered her such nicknames as the Queen of Cocaine and Godmother of Cocaine. Griselda Blanco Restrepo was born in Cartagena, Colombia, on the country's north coast. Blanco had become a pickpocket before she was a teenager. To escape the sexual abuse of her mother's boyfriend, she ran away from home at the age of 19, resorting to theft for survival in the city center until the age of 20. It is speculated that she may have engaged in prostitution to better support herself financially during this time, although she denied this. Blanco and her first husband, Carlos Trujillo, first started a marijuana dealing enterprise in Colombia. In 1964, after divorcing Trujillo, Blanco illegally entered the United States with fake documentation, under an assumed name. She would end up settling in Queens, New York, with her 3 children and second husband Alberto Bravo, a cocaine smuggler for the Medellin cartel. They set up a thriving drug operation in New York City. However, 9 years later, in April 1975, Blanco was identified by authorities and indicted on federal drug conspiracy charges along with 30 of her subordinates. On February 17, 1985, Blanco was arrested in her home by DEA agents and subsequently charged with conspiring to manufacture, import and distribute cocaine. The case went to trial in federal court in New York City, where she was found guilty and sentenced to 15 years in prison. While serving her sentence, she was charged with 3 additional counts of first-degree murder by the state of Florida. The prosecution made a deal with one of Blanco's most trusted hitmen, Jorge Ayala, who agreed to testify that Blanco had ordered him to carry out the killings. However, the case collapsed due to technicalities relating to a phone sex scandal between Ayala and 2 female secretaries employed at the state attorney's office. In 1998, Blanco pleaded guilty to 3 counts of second-degree murder and was sentenced to 20 years in prison to run concurrently. In 2002, Blanco,